One of the biggest problems that companies are facing today is hiring the right employees. Too often, an employee gets hired but doesn't make it through the 90-day probationary stage simply because he or she wasn't the right candidate for the position. When I was filling out my first resume to apply for jobs, I wanted to put at the bottom, varsity baseball starter. When I took it to a couple resume experts to review it, they told me to take that part off. They told me that it was irrelevant, that it had happened too far back, and that employers simply wouldn't care that I played high school baseball. And this rubbed me the wrong way, because I love baseball. I had played it my entire life, and to that point it had shaped me into the man and the employee that I turned out to be. I am here to tell you that baseball players make for better employees. You want them on your team because of the skills and the life lessons that they have acquired through playing the game that they know and love. Among a lot of things, baseball players know how to win each pitch. Winning each pitch means taking on the many different scenarios that baseball can offer you and knowing what to do. They know how to dominate every single pitch that is thrown. Baseball players know how to handle pressure situations. Lots of times, games are decided by one single play, and the attitude and the ability to handle pressure by one single player can potentially save or lose a ball game for a team. Baseball players also know how to react positively to failure. As a whole, baseball is a game of failure, and players need to know how to react to those types of situations in order to be successful. Now let's talk about what it means to win each pitch. Winning each pitch means to have a laser-like focus before each pitch. Physically, you look like you know what you're doing, much like these three players here. This shows off a message to the other team that you're not going to be beaten. And this is something that the best players learn how to do. These types of players know what to do before the ball is even hit to them because they're taking into account in their head all of the little things that could potentially happen. They know all the details of the play. They know how many outs there are, what the count is, and where the base runners are. And if the ball's hit to them, they don't even have to think. They know what they're doing with it. Baseball players are also adaptable to change. Errors occur on the defensive end of baseball. Players know where to be when an error occurs, like an overthrow or if it gets past the outfield. They already know where to be because they've practiced it and they went over it in their head. It wasn't their plan A course of action, but because they were ready, they were able to adapt. This is much like in the workforce when a global pandemic hits your office and you have to move your entire team to work from home. The baseball player will not miss a step as he transitions from the office to working from home. You want someone on your team just like that, who is willing to give it his all in each and every situation and knows what he's doing. Baseball players also know how to handle the pressure situations. We've all heard the popular scenario, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. All of the different players on the field are feeling different types of pressure. The batter at the plate is feeling the weight of his entire team on his shoulders as he is his last team's chance to win that game. He needs to make a big hit. He needs to come through, and that's a lot of pressure on one player. The pitcher, on the other hand, is also feeling the same pressure from his team. He needs to be able to perform well enough to get that batter out. Each player at their respective positions are also feeling that pressure because if the ball is hit to them, they may have to make a diving catch, or they have to make a nice slide around the catcher to get home safe. Bottom line is, baseball players are experienced in these types of situations. Players most likely have been in this scenario multiple times, and they have experienced both success and failure, and they have learned how to appropriately react to both of those scenarios. You want somebody on your team who is willing to lay out and make the big play. You need someone who you can trust, and baseball players are those people. Baseball players, the hallmark of a baseball player is to react positively to failure. Here on the screen here, you see two of the best hitters in Major League Baseball history, Ty Cobb and Shoeless Joe Jackson. Ty Cobb and Shoeless Joe both played in the early 1900s, and they are the best hitters to ever play the game. But if you take a look at their average, it doesn't seem that great. An average of 366 and 356 means that they got a hit 36% of the time that they were up to the plate. 36%, most everything else on this earth is a terrible failing percentage, but they are the best at their sport. Why? We go back to the fact that baseball is a game of failure. They embraced that failure. That 75 out of 100 times that they didn't get a hit, they were refocused and they got a hit again, or they focused on getting that hit again. Mistakes are common in baseball, but their attitude is unshaken because of their mental practice that they've had. You want someone on your team like this who takes responsibility for that 75% of the time, and they learn from their mistakes. Overall, baseball players make for better employees because of those reasons and many more that we have discussed. The next time you see varsity baseball starter on a resume of a person that you are interviewing, I would hope that you take that a little bit more into consideration because they have the potential and the skills to be your next executive. Thank you.